So one of the things we do with distribution of charges is drawing the electric field lines, right? And so we never did that with gravitational field because we usually didn't deal with multiple planets, but it's very common to deal with various multiple charges and configurations. And so the way you want to think about electric field lines is they are lines that emanate and they point in the direction that the electric field would be at a particular point. So remember our rule for electric field, it is the direction that a positive charge would experience a force. So if I put a positive charge right here, it's like if I put a positive charge right here, it's going to experience a force, say, repelling from this guy and then drawn towards this guy, right? But this side's a little bit stronger because he's closer to this charge. So then the net force is probably going to point something like this, right? And that's what that electric field, that's what that field line kind of is doing there. It's telling you the direction. It's mostly telling you direction. Like when they're closer together, it's sort of by proxy telling you roughly the strength, but mostly it's telling you the direction. And again, the way you want to think electric field lines is they move from positive charges towards negative charges because that's what's going to happen. If you were to put a positive charge there, it would move away from the positive charge and towards the negative charge here. So here, if I have two positive charges, for example, and I put a positive charge right here, the reason there's no field lines here is because this charge is pushing it to the left. This charge is pushing it to the right. If these are the same charges and I'm the same distance away, then the net electric force is going to be zero, and thus the electric field is going to be zero because there is no net electric force if I put a positive charge there, right? And so that's kind of the basic idea. A lot of times when we're doing these sketches, they're qualitatively drawn. So it's just to help you understand the direction of the electric fields. And for those of you doing AP Physics C, this is actually critically important when we're doing Gauss's laws, that you understand the direction of the electric fields. For those of you AP Physics 2, you just need to understand which direction the electric field's kind of pointing there, generally speaking. So let's do a few examples. So draw the electric field lines of the following charges. So let's say we have a single positive point charge. Well, if I put a positive charge anywhere, he's just going to push it away. So the electric field lines actually are just going to be like this, radially away in all directions. Because if I were to put a positive charge in any of those spots, it would just be repelled away by this single positive charge. So that's what the electric field lines would look like for a single positive charge. How about a single negative charge? Well, if I were to put a positive charge here, then it would be drawn towards it. So and that would be radially always being drawn towards it. So the electric field lines are going to be drawn towards it, kind of like the opposite of the single positive charge. If I put a positive charge anywhere along here, it's going to be attracted to that negative charge, being pulled in the direction if that's the only charge there. If I have a positive and negative charge, this is where the case where we say like, oh, and we're going to, like a positive charge is going to repel from here, so it's going to move away from here and towards this guy, like this. And it's going to have this kind of curve because anywhere I put the positive charge, and it's always going to bend towards it some way, because no matter where you put a positive charge anywhere, it's going to, the net is going to be towards the negative charge in a way. And sometimes you might draw arrows over here just to help you indicate the direction in the middle of the lines like that. So it'd be kind of like that, like there. And if we have two positive charges, okay, so it's kind of like, it'll emanate away, but when I get to like anywhere along these axes, if it's equally charged, the net force is going to be zero because it's going to be, right here in the middle, the net force is going to be zero. So no electric field line there, but anywhere here, a positive charge is going to be repelled by this guy, and it's going to just point straight up at that point. So that's for, if you were to put a part of this charge there, it would just move radially, but anywhere else, it's going to do something like this. And then over here, just kind of radially outwards. And then here, you could curve it a little bit, right? And then this is going to have this kind of like straight line like that, that kind of scenario. And then you do by symmetry, it kind of does the same thing on this side. Oops, it should curve a little bit, but you don't have to worry about that curving part too much. Again, we're just trying to get a qualitative shape of what the electric field lines ought to be. Let's say I have two negative charges. It's going to be almost the exact same thing. You're going to have nothing here, but anywhere off axes, it's going to point sort of in this direction. And that's because a positive charge, if I place it here, is going to be drawn towards this guy and drawn towards this guy. And so if it's right dead center, then the net forces horizontally will cancel each other out, so it'll only point downward. But anywhere else, it's going to be like pointing inward towards this negative charge for the most part. And then a similar thing here. And then we would just do by symmetry, do symboling like this over here. Again, you're just qualitatively getting the shape. We're not being like precise about like everything that is going to happen to this, but just roughly getting the shape of the electric field to have a general idea of what, then we can start to visualize what we mean by the electric field. Thanks for checking out this video. I hope you found it really helpful. If you'd like more support, maybe you need more multiple choice practice, maybe you just need more guidance and things like that, I have plenty of information on my website. If you look in the description below and go to www.bothellstemcoach.com, I will explain all the ways I help students be successful in their AP classes.